I am very excited. We have guests in the studio, as in... Oh, here they are making a bumming noise
guests?
this morning.
Are we really still guests
Your
by this
family.
stage? Yeah,
Oh, your family. Sorry.
I'm like that drunk uncle that turns up on Boxing Day with a ventriloquist's dummy.
There you go.
And I'll be that
Reverend Sophie
naughty
being the
kid
ventriloquist's dummy in question, but I'm not going to get her to sit on my knee. It's not reinforced.
I'm getting a can of tomato soup out as well to aggravate the uncle.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
We
Yeah.
are. Right. Amazing. It's time for confessions.
Yes, we might have one right here in the studio right now, but nonetheless, I'm bringing a confession to you this morning from somebody in Haverfordwest that was given to me. But before we do,
you ready?
I'm ready.
Come on, Soph.
Did that actually show up on camera?
Yes,
We'll
it
find
did.
out. We'll find out later.
Special hidden Easter egg in the on the online video there. So you have to watch closely and see what Reverend Sophie does when I mock her.
Just draw more attention to it.
Yeah, I know. I will.
Yeah. I was happy just to go along with it. So it's like, no. Amazing. Yes, it's Thursday morning. We do this every week. Last week, we accidentally find out that Gina had two confessions. Sophie's got one this morning. But Folly, you've got one from Haverfordwest.
I have got one from Haverfordwest this morning. So, dear PWR friends and the Alive and Kicking team, I just started driving by myself last week.
Wow. Oh dear.
I've only just passed my test. So I am a very new driver. Yesterday, this was given to me yesterday, so the day before, I was leaving my work's car park and I accidentally hit the car right next to me.
Oh no.
Nobody saw me. I did stop, get out, look round the other car and my own, and I believe I didn't make any serious scratches. Note the words serious. Scratches. I didn't have anything with me to leave a note.
Oh dear.
And I felt too frightened to go back into the office and get a piece of paper and a pen. I literally freaked out and just jumped in my car and left the car park. I feel so bad and guilty about this because it's somebody I work with and I know what type of car it is. I should be able to find out whose car it is and tell him or her about it. But I don't think that I want to. What should I do?
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Gina, I'm going to start with you.
Oh my goodness me. This is a tricky one. But the law says that you should have gone back in and got that piece of paper written down because it says no serious scratches or marks, which means there are some scratches or marks. So I am going to go not forgiven.
Oh, she's straight in there.
Straight
in there.
She's got a very stern and disapproving look on her this morning. She's like Miss Trunchbull this morning. She's got her Miss Trunchbull on. Yeah, she's going to force us all to eat cake until we pop.
Oh, doesn't sound all bad.
No, that's true.
Okay, so there was a part. Well, I've just passed my test, which they're using as a bit of disclaimer here. I've just passed my test, which means I can't judge the size of my car, and I've pulled out of my parking space, and I've left some scratches, not serious, but I drove away, Sophie.
I'm acutely aware that my daughter has recently passed her driving test.
I was thinking it could have been her.
It was probably
No,
it was not her.
There we are.
I would have known if it was her. She'd have phoned me up in tears. She'd have been in floods.
Okay.
She'd have been like,
wrong.
and so it wasn't her. But I think if it was my daughter, so that's where I'm coming in. I think I would probably say to her, Chloe, you know the right thing to do here. you need to go back in and tell the person. Chances are they're going to look around their car and they're going to go, well, I can't see anything, so don't worry about it. Chances are that's what's going to happen. But you need to be honest, because otherwise it's just going to sit with you forever and ever and ever, and it's just going to feel awful. So if you're writing into the Pure West radio station to ask forgiveness, I would say you need to do that, and then yes, all is forgiven.
After they've taken some action.
Yes.
So as of right now, though,
as of right now, I'm saying
Purgatory.
I am not saying purgatory. I'm saying I think some sorries need to be said this morning. Maybe to the whole of Pembrokeshire. Just everybody.
Interesting that you're saying, oh no, you need, the forgiveness is a virtue this morning. You're really hot and that this morning.
I'm sorry. I'm just going to say it. I'm sorry, everybody.
I can't wait to watch it back.
Mine and Father Neil's banter just got the better of me this morning.
I love that. Helen's been in touch.
Okay.
Not forgiven.
Oh no!
I'd be livid if it was my car. Lol. if there was no damage at all, I would forgive. And if they were to hunt this person down to make it right, I would forgive. So I suppose a very similar stance.
Yeah.
To Reverend Sophie here.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be that they can't find the person, in which case there's little they can do now. And so I would say, actually, acknowledging that you were wrong, make sure you make amends next time. If you do find out who it is, then say sorry to them. But yeah, I mean, there is a point now where they might not be able to work out who it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Father Neil. This is. Have you already replied to this person, or has it just been left to the council of the breakfast show and Alive and Kicking?
I told this person that I would bring it to the council.
Okay.
And I actually told them that I have confidence in their own ability to make good decisions.
Oh, I like that. I really use that going forward.
But I didn't say what that good decision was. Interesting. I don't know. I want to just put in a little variant here. Does it make any difference to you guys out there and in here in the studio? We don't know the gender of the person involved. Obviously, Reverend Sophie has said that it's not her daughter.
Yes.
Would it make any difference if I said that it was a young gentleman?
No.
So interestingly, I thought I was being gender neutral, but then I remembered the last time you brought a confession to us, I believe it was a female. So I've just, now that you've mentioned that, I've assumed it's also a female. But the fact that it's a male also doesn't change.
Are you assuming that it's just women that are being sinful?
Well, you know the story.
Or just assuming that it's women as well, bad drivers. Tom's just assuming that it's women who are bad drivers.
No, but yeah, my thought process during this engagement hasn't changed based on that knowledge, though.
I'm going to have to go down the middle line as well. And I know Gina came straight in, hot and hard. Love that about you, Gina. And it was sort of like not forgiven straight away. But I'm going to have to demur in the same way as my colleague did. And I know that the person who has said this to me isn't listening at the moment, but has promised to catch up and listen to this to find out what the judgment is, which makes it all the sweeter for me. But yes, I'm going to say that it's a medium-sized organization, so it's not something small where there's only sort of like a dozen cars, but it's not huge. It's not like the hospital or anything like that. So in the hospital, cars are just abandoned everywhere anyway. You couldn't tell who was a visitor, who was a staff member, but you absolutely should be able to work out whose car it is, because they took a note of the reg and they know what the car is. So just go in and do it soon, because if somebody else scrapes the car, then you could be caught up when they go, that wasn't there.
Yeah.
That wasn't there before. So honesty is always the best policy, except when it isn't. So in the same way as this morning, democracy is the worst form of all governments that we've ever tried, apart from the rest. So I'm withholding forgiveness.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's pending.
Yeah.
Forgiveness is pending.
That's what
on
this
my
is
life
about
thing
this morning. Yeah, because I'm going in there with not forgiven, but there is a chance, a little window of to be forgiven.
Yeah.
Because you just need to go and approach the person and say, look, I'm really sorry. This is what's happened. I panicked. Please come and have a look at the car. If there is any damage, of course, we'll pay for it. And I think you've got to come clean. Otherwise, that is just going to hang over this person for a long time. So not forgiven at the moment, but there is room there to be forgiven.
And actually, I do think that if the shoe was on the other foot and it was my car, and somebody came to me and said, listen, Father Neil, I only passed my driving test last week and I'm still a bit nervous. And I did brush against your car. Because that's what we're talking about. It's not sort of like I rear-ended them and now there's no bumper. It was just a gentle caress.
Yeah.
And we don't, and I don't think there's been any damage whatsoever. But would you please come out and look at your car with me?
Yes.
And I would be sort of like, oh, don't worry about it. We'll go and have a look, and I'm sure it'll be fine. Whereas if somebody else came and said, Father Neil, Reverend Sophie scraped your car this morning, and she hasn't said anything to you.
You're going out with the keys.
Yeah. It's not good. Then it's not good.
In the eyes of the law, though, once you pass your test, you are deemed to be a capable and competent driver of someone of many years.
However, I'd like to take issue with Gina, because I think aren't car parks generally private property and not subject to the laws of the road?
I think you're right.
So you're not legally obliged to inform, because all the notices that are on there say you park here at your own risk.
Oh, there is that as well. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So
Note taken.
So the public law changes in this aspect. Anna just come in on Facebook. Not forgiven.
Ooh.
But I think this is like the prime example as to why we set this up. If there's a case where we can't give forgiveness, we've given the path to righteousness.
We have,
and that's what's important.
And let's not forget that we're all forgiven.
Of course,
we are all forgiven.
Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. I will repay. Just because you've been naughty in the studio this morning, please, whatever you do, people of Pembrokeshire, do not look back at the Facebook feed and concentrate on the first 10 seconds and look at Reverend Sophie.
Thanks for that, Father Neil.
Right then, Tom.
Right then.
You're very quiet.
Yeah. So I likewise with everybody else. In this moment in time, it's a clean sweep of not forgivens, but there is a path.
Yes.
Yes.
And I think that there's a time frame. I think next Thursday we should know, because it might just be a nice little bottle of tea cut. It might even be a tongue on the thumb and just rub it out. And then you're sorted.
Yes.
You look like you've done that before, Tom.
They've got some amazing stuff in the Toyota garage.
Oh,
I reversed the church wall.
Oh,
It's
God.
not a confession. Confession right there. Reversed into a church wall. And I wanted to give them the car back. And I said, when I got my new car, I said, do you need to take any money off? Because I've scratched the back of it. And it was literally just, and he said, no, let's have a look at it. He said, and he got this special stuff out, and he like, what? And it was gone.
It was
I
gone.
Like, yeah.
Oh.
So that might be all
That's
it
like, that's
needs.
amazing.
Whereas when the first time that I went to Reverend Sophie's house, before it was Reverend Sophie's house, I took my wing mirror off on her gatepost, and the gatepost was the stone gatepost was untouched, whereas my wing mirror was then kept on with duct tape for the next 3 years.
Can we confess with Father Rob's little encounter with my wall?
Oh my
Big up to the new vicar of Narberth. We're throwing you,
We're throwing you
under the train. Yeah. Go on.
Yeah, he reversed into my drive and then hit there's a little low wall and he hit the top of the low
Oh
wall in
no.
the back of his car. I'm not even sure it's his car. Oh heck.
Right. Well,
Big up to Father Rob's fiance who didn't necessarily know.
No, I think it was his Father Rob's brother.
Oh my goodness. Can open
Worms
Oh,
everywhere.
dear.
Yeah.
Really put my
Everyone's
foot
in
the-
trouble now.
Right. So we're all in trouble.
We're all in trouble.
this morning.
We're all in trouble. The consensus today to the confession brought to the Council of the Breakfast Show and Alive and Kicking is not forgiven, but follow the path.
Follow
And
the
next
path.
week, hopefully, we'll find out what's going on. And hopefully, as Father Neil said, people are nice, really. You're like, oh, let's go have a look. Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Alive and Kicking on Sunday.
Sunday morning. Last Sunday, we talked all about calling, and that means following Jesus. And this time, we're talking about.
Being sent by Jesus, no less.
Oh.
So it's kind of a part 2 sort of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
The sequel.
The sequel. to
Alive
Alive
and Kicking, the sequel. I
Perfect.
had hoped that they would upgrade my co-star, but nothing to be done. So
so rude. So
yeah.
rude.
Do you want to do something in response to that sort of
No,
banter?
not again. Thank you.
No.
No. My immediate response is to do exactly the same, but I'm not going to do that.
I love that. Thank you both so much for joining us here this morning. We love it on Thursday morning. We've got Gratitude Tuesday as well. Next week, we'll have Reverend Sophie with us on Tuesday. Lovely. Let us know your thoughts. We've had a lot of not forgivens here in the studio and on the Facebook and on the PWR app. Do you forgive? And will we be turning that into a Hallelujah chorus next week? We'll find out. Coming up, we got your letters for Unscramble on the way. Some what's on to the Great Mudlock Farm and Deer Park and some Jack and Travel with Link Taxis. 25 minutes past 8. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Bye.
Wake